Hi folks, just a little update vlog this one. Not working on any specific vehicle today. Let's just have a look around and see what I've been up to, just tinkering about. See you in a minute. Right, well here we are in the log cabin. Now again, we've not had very good weather in here in the UK. It's been raining, torrential rain in one day, then it can be sunny the next day or even the same day. So I've not been able to get out and actually do much in one go, so to speak. It's sort of diving in and out basically. But I'll just show you a few little bits which I've been doing here and also in the garden quickly as well. Let me just show you first of all in here the little bits I've got to do as well. I'm going to do some sandblasting in a minute. You might as well hang around for that. Let's just show you what I've been painting up. Now, for example, I've got these little brackets, little things like this is what takes the time. These are for the Reliant Regal. Again, it was the old nuts and bolts, basically. These are the old Imperial nuts and bolts, which I've just basically tidied up. Things like these brackets that hold the front suspension arm on. Again, these were absolutely all crudded up, if you remember rightly, if you look back in the previous Reliant Regal videos. And all I've done is sandblast them, give them a coat of smooth hammerite paint basically, and that's a nice enough finish for them. So that's them sorted out. There's the chassis bolts there. I've got them off of Dan Clift, who's actually restored a trotter van. If you go to his channel, Dan Clift on YouTube, you'll see his trotter van which he's done. So I've just given them a little coat of paint as well. That's one of the trays for the Triumph. This is a bit of things I've got to still refurbish. Things like the pedal arm mechanisms off of the Reliant Regal, and clutch and brake rods and stuff like that. As you can see, they're in a bit of a state. I'll give them a degrease first and then get them in the sandblaster and then give them a paint up. Now this is that shield I was telling you about for the exhaust manifold on the Triumph Acclaim. And what I've got to do, I've just got these held in there for the moment. Let me just undo that there. As you see, this bottom fixing is actually rusted away there. And I'm just going to sort of put a big washer over there and just sort of re-weld around there, and that will obviously put that back in one place, and then give that a coat of high temperature paint, heat resistant paint. And as I say, I've sandblasted it at the moment. It's come out not too bad. And coming out into the garden here, look at the size of them leaves on that cabbage there. Look, we're actually eating this, as I say, but massive leaves there. And we've already had a glut of raspberries off of the old raspberry bush there, as you can see there. Look, Sharon's picked a load of these as well. And that's just in a little container, but that's doing very well. And coming over here, as you can probably see, Gary started emptying the pond out over the weekend. And that's not a little shallow divot there. That's probably about 1.5 foot, maybe 2 foot deep in the middle there. And the pump is like full of sludge now. That's as much as we could get out. So we just dragged all the rubbish, or quite a lot of it, along to the side, so it dries out a bit. And when it all settles again, we'll put the pump in and pump some more water out until we've actually got it emptied. Now I'm thinking what we're going to be doing here is actually filling this in, as I mentioned to you once before. And the reasons for that is because we've got, again, little toddlers, children who walk about and run about in the garden here. And it's always a worry that they're going to fall in. Now, we've had kids here, our own kids, like little Jimmy when he was 2 years old, all the way up to he's like where he is now. But, you know, it is a worry, and you do worry about that because it's got sloping sides, basically. And if anyone does go in there, when it's all slidey and slippery, there's no way they're going to be able to climb out. So all I'm going to do is probably hopefully fill all that in, lift all these patio slabs here, re-patio the whole lot, and have some other sort of water feature with fish and all that, something which kids can't fall into. So we're still going to have a fountain and maybe a waterfall or something. It'll be in a different arrangement, maybe raised up a little bit so that they can look into as opposed to fall into, so to speak. And yeah, we've had loads of frogs that are in here. We can't seem to see any fish. There's no sign of any fish at all. So maybe they've died off, and also the heron might have probably got a load of them. But there are still frogs and newts in there as well, which are a protected species. So yes, still got the lawnmowers there, as you can see. These over here all got to be refurbished. I still haven't got around to any of these. Gary picked this one up the other day. It's a rough cut lawnmower. It's a little bit untidy, but again, it works perfectly fine. And it's just a few little things like that's been repaired before, as you can see there on the cable. He picked this up for £10. And it's a Briggs & Stratton straightforward engine. Again, nice mower that. It's going to be refurbed. Gary got that for £10. So yeah, here's the old sandblaster, and I've just got this temporary light here for the moment. Let me turn it on. But as you can see, it does illuminate up, and it lights up pretty well inside. So I'm quite happy with that. It's it'll do for the moment anyway. I can see, at least I can see what I'm doing for the moment. And inside here, all I've got is some, I think it's crushed up glass, this media, so it's pretty rough stuff. But it has got a light up there, as you can probably see, but that doesn't work anymore. It's a low voltage light, obviously, and yeah, that's something I've got to get sorted out. But for the moment, this, as you can see, I've put a new cover on this on the inside. These are just sort of adhesive covers. But as you can see now, it's well clean in there now. And in actual fact, we'll do a little bit of sandblasting now. So I'm just going to put you on the tripod and show you how this thing works. And before I do that, I'll just show you my compressor. I've shown this in other videos, but this is a Clark Raider Air 60, whatever that is. CFM, I think it's 14.5 or 14 point some, just 14 CFM apparently. That's the size of it. And it's basically just a straightforward compressor. I've recently just cleaned it out with regards to the draining this, because this fills up with water if you ain't careful. After a few period of time, there's a little drain vent down the back there. I don't know whether you can actually see it there. You probably can't. You just undo it and the water runs out. You can see the brown mark on the floor there. So you want to drain the water out of that every now and again. And I've got the main setting up to about 120 pounds, and the coming out of the gun, I've got it for 90 pounds psi. So it pumps up until it cuts out. It gets up to 120 pounds, then it cuts out, and this dial gauge, which puts the pressure out of the hose, is wound down to 90 psi. So, and there's another little water trap there as well, and it's all switched on from this here. And you probably can't hear me now, so I'll let that charge up now, and we're going to do some sandblasting. See you in a minute. Well, there we go. There's the difference there. One's sandblasted, nice and clean, ready for repainting. This one's still got to be done, obviously. It's still all rusted there, as you can see. But this is done well now. And I'm just going to carry on and do these other bits, and then we'll just spray these up and see what they look like as they've been sprayed. Oh, right, there we go. Time for a cup of tea. Very handy tool, the sandblasting cabinet, if you've got a compressor and you've got room for one. Not the very small ones, they can be a little bit of a nuisance because you can't really get much in them. That's not a bad size one, that one, but it will do for now anyway. But anything bigger than like a chassis, wheels, anything like that, I'm lucky enough to have a large one at my disposal with the chap who does my powder coating, and he's very reasonable as well, so always handy when you're doing refurbishing to have that sort of stuff available. Right, well, let's show you what I've got here. A few different things I've got to paint at the moment, and all I'm doing with these, I could have had them powder coated, but where do you draw the line? I'm just doing these with Smooth Right, which is from the Hammerite range, as you can probably see there. It's a smooth black, and it's an enamel paint, and it goes on very well. You haven't got to do any sort of priming or anything like that, and that's what I've been using. So let's show you what I've done at the moment anyway. I've got this brake lever here, or one at brake or the clutch, I'm not too sure exactly which one it was, but the stud got stuck in, so I've got to actually get that out. I'm probably going to drift that out, and I've got a new bolt to go in there anyway, so, but that's the only thing I've got to do. And things like the gearbox mount, stuff like that, that's the engine tie rod there. The clutch arm, which is for the Reliant Regal. Let's just put that there for a minute, hold on. As you can see, ready for paint now. We've got about 25 degrees in here at the moment, so that's not too bad. Humidity is a bit high, but we're not spraying proper paint, so to speak. It's only out of a can, so it shouldn't affect us. Again, you haven't got to go too mad. I'll do a few coats of this. I'll just put it on lightly initially, just to make sure we've got everything virtually covered, which looks pretty good. Well, there we go. There we go. And that's all we're looking for the first coat. And all these other stuff I'll just do the same with. Nothing serious. As you can see, just get one coat on them for the moment. And after a few coats, they'll come out like this. As you can see there, those are ready to go on already, these brackets, and they've gone off now for probably a day or so, and it's a nice finish. Things like the brake springs for the Reliant, even just the heads of the screws as well. As you can see there, all the threads are going to be lubricated anyway, but these are just the old bolts made to look a bit better, so there you go. Well, there we go. It's 8:15 in the evening now. I'm just going to finish my tea here, have a little clean up, let this stuff go off overnight, turn it over, do it tomorrow, and start assembling stuff. Most of this stuff, as I say, is going to be for the chassis for the Reliant, apart from this, which I've got to do a bit of welding on around there, and then obviously paint it with high temperature paint. So anyway, that's enough for me for this little quick vlog, an update vlog, and I'll see you again in the next video. And until then, bye for now.